This is Chris Young again with 80/20 CRM, and today we're going to walk through status and stage maps. So in Salesforce, they have lead statuses, opportunity stage. It allows you to put the path up on the record. Let me just go ahead and pull one of those up as an example. Let's see what Abigail's got for us here. Here across the top, and this also has your guidance for success that can be customized through path settings and setup. But we have our typical 80/20 statuses and stages: unqualified, prospect. So this allows you to delineate between marketing qualified, so cold prospects, to marketing qualified. If it comes in new, they raise their hand, say, hey, I'm interested. Contacted, working, nurturing, converted. When we convert, that means it's sales qualified, so MQL to SQL, and then it moves on to the sales cycle. But we want to make sure that you have the flexibility to create whatever statuses and stages work best for you and your team, whether that's different verbiage, nomenclature, or just a different process altogether. And to do that, we also include Marketing Cloud in our package. And to make sure Marketing Cloud knows how to trigger off of these different status and stages, we create maps. Right now, they're a little rudimentary, I'll be honest, but we're going to improve those to have a cleaner interface. Still want to review what those are and how to set them up. Really important if you're going to use the automations that we deliver, lots of journeys that are always going, that are watching any status and stage changes, and maybe even updating them by themselves if they see nothing happening, just to make sure leads don't fall through the cracks. And so if you are on in the 80/20 CRM app launcher, 80/20 CRM, make sure we're there. And then, you know what? This one you won't see across the top. So this one you actually have to search for. So status and stage maps. If you don't see them, then they'll need to be added as a profile or permission set add. And let's see if we've got any in this org. We don't, which is great. This one's just using the generic out of the box, which are actually quite thought through and have been iterated over many times. But still understand there could be some differences. So let's create a new one. And let's mark it active. You can see here, we've got a little bit of notes on that, just telling you a little detail about these status and stage maps. And we've got this one is actually missing one, and I'm just going to show you how to add it in case that's your case too. So if we go to edit the object, we want to see the property transaction status and stage maps also. So let's property transaction stage to be more precise. Let's just drop that one in here. Make sure we can see that and save. Okay, great. And sometimes those different page layouts, you'll notice sometimes they don't deploy right away. So we may still not see that field, but we'll know it's there. Occasionally they can take, oh, look, it popped up for us. That's great. Because sometimes it's in your cache, in your memory, even with a hard refresh. Sometimes you're like, wait, I changed the page layout and nothing is changing. It can take a few hours sometimes for it to finally come around. Doesn't usually, but it can. I've seen it. I actually had one today do that to me, which sometimes can be frustrating or annoying when you're like, hey, I made that change. I want to make sure it looks good, but you just have to be patient with it occasionally. All right, so we've got the lead status map. Again, this information or help text here will tell you a little bit about it. We've got record type, so residential REI, residential retail. Those are the two lead record types that we deliver with the real estate package. You may see construction, commercial real estate, some others down the line as we release those. And then you have what's considered our out of the box, or the 80/20 CRM default status, lead status, and then a colon, and then whatever your company status is that would match with that same logic. Unqualified is fairly obvious. A lead came in, spam, just not a good lead whatsoever, really not interested, whatever your rules or logic are for unqualifying a lead. Typically, we find they don't have authority to sell. They're really not interested, way out of our buy box criteria, spam coming in, any of those things, way out of location, bad data, then we'll unqualify those. The next one is prospect. Now this is usually a cold prospect, property that had good opportunity, we think. So we're cold calling them, cold texting, maybe we're sending direct mail, could be trying to target them on social media, other channels that we might be hitting them through, TV, radio, etc. And then we have long-term nurture. Long-term nurture is, hey, we may or may not have gotten out of prospect. We may have worked through nurturing, working and nurturing, but we're just not getting there. Maybe they're 6 months out or longer, so it kicks back to long-term nurture, or it kicks into a long-term nurture. It's an 18-month or more cadence or journey that kicks in Marketing Cloud, constantly keeping your brand in front of them. Hopefully the idea being they come back in at some point, either as new, contacted, or working, and we can then qualify them when they're ready. New lead comes in from, someone creates one, or they hit a landing page or PPC or any other lead source. Contacted means somebody picked up that new lead and tried to contact them, sent them text messages, phone calls, is trying to work that lead, or at least establish contact with them. And then working means, hey, we've established two-way contact and we're actively pursuing this lead. We're gathering details, trying to qualify it. Nurturing is we may have contacted and or started working this lead, but they're close, they're warm, they're just not quite ready. So maybe we're going to go into a 3 to 4 month warm nurture journey there. And then qualified, of course, they had met all of the criteria to qualify that lead. So decision maker, authority to sell, interest, time frame, all of those pillars that are important to know if it's a good lead. So those are our standard lead statuses. And then here is what you would map to. So maybe you don't call it new, maybe you call it new property, new file, new record, maybe you call it something else. Maybe you don't want to use contacted, that's fine. You can just leave it as is. Just leave all of the left-hand ones here. And you can even duplicate them. Maybe you've got 2 contacted fields, attempted contact and established contact, for example. You can put those both to contacted. You can use this field twice, but we can't have currently we're not able to handle you having our field, the original 80/20 CRM field, mapped twice to the same of yours. So like you couldn't say contacted is contacted and working is contacted. That may cause some conflict. So sorry, it took me a second to get that out right. I wanted to make sure I said it straight. But you can attach additional ones. So maybe we want to say contacted is attempted contact, for example. All right, so that would be the lead map. And then the same would go on the opportunity. Let's just shrink this one and we'll look at the opportunity. You'll see a few more here. That's because on the opportunity, we've got REI, but we've also got retail buyer and retail seller. We split those up a little differently. Those record types, we want to know if it's a buyer or seller, different transactions, some established buy boxes, just different criteria all around. And so we might have some of these values that only tie to specific record types. An example would be showings and offers is for a buyer, retail buyer. We are taking them around, we're showing them properties and making offers on those properties. And then retail seller, we're listing and marketing. That one's unique. We're listing their property, marketing it for sale. So these are the ones that we have established. You can always, update those to what you would like to see or have on the opportunity. And then the transaction has its own as well. Also REI, retail buyer, retail seller, record types, working lead, nurturing, working off, under agreement, listing and marketing, showings and offers, negotiating, under contract, which is on the sales side, or if we're retail buyer, improving if you're an REI and you're maybe adding value, marketing. So REI, we're marketing the property to dispo. And then you've got closing, close won, close lost. So you'll notice a couple of little things. These 3 hyphens here are important. We need to have those 3 hyphens. It helps to establish, hey, these are the record types. We parse this string and we do some different work on it. Again, we're going to make this more user-friendly, but these are the status and stage maps we have now. It's important to remember and keep them up to date. They're easy to forget. But if you change status and stages, we always recommend go to your status and stage maps and then just update them to match. Okay, a lot of detail there. Feel free to ask any questions. Let us know if you got any. If you're having trouble with it, reach out to us, we'll help. But that is how to create your status and stage maps in 80/20 CRM to make sure your lead, opportunity, and transaction statuses and stages are mapped appropriately and all the automations are triggering the way you want them to. Chris with 80/20 CRM, thanks for your time.